Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here's something that might completely change the way you look at the pennies jingling in your pocket right now. Because what if I told you that one of those tiny copper-colored coins, something you wouldn't think twice about handing over at a convenience store, could secretly hold a value that rivals the price of a private jet? Imagine a penny so deceptively ordinary that countless people have unknowingly spent it without realizing they were giving away a life-changing fortune. And the shocker here is that the 2000 D 1-cent coin, a penny struck at the Denver Mint at the dawn of a new millennium, has been valued at an astounding $144 million in its rarest and most extraordinary forms. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single-cent piece, a coin worth just 1/100th of a dollar, could be the key to unimaginable wealth. So stick with me through this story because not only are we about to uncover the fascinating tale of the 2000 D penny and what makes it so astonishingly rare, but later in this video, I'll also reveal another 1-cent coin from a completely different year that has a shocking story of its own. And you won't want to miss that suspenseful reveal, because if you thought this coin was valuable, wait until you hear about the next one. To understand why the 2000 D penny has such an extraordinary reputation, we need to step back into its time. The year 2000 was symbolic, a turning point in history as the world ushered in a new millennium. The U.S. Mint in Denver was bustling, producing billions of coins for circulation, including the Lincoln 1-cent pieces. These pennies bore the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, as they had since 1959, nothing unusual at first glance. And that's what makes this coin such a breathtaking surprise, because within these billions, a few extraordinary pieces were struck with errors, mistakes, and anomalies that would transform them from ordinary pocket change into legendary treasures, the kind of treasures collectors dream about. Among the most famous mistakes tied to the 2000 D penny are striking errors. Imagine a penny that was struck off-center, leaving parts of the design cut off and exposing a crescent of blank planchet, or a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, like a dime's blank, thinner and made of a different composition, suddenly creating a coin that looks unlike anything meant for circulation. These bizarre misstrikes make collectors' hearts race, because they're not supposed to exist at all. Yet somehow they slip through the Mint's strict quality controls, and that rarity pushes values sky high. Then there are double die errors, where the coin's design elements appear doubled, most notably on the date or the lettering. These can be dramatic, with bold doubling visible to the naked eye, or subtle, detectable only under magnification. But either way, they add immense value because they prove something went wrong in the die-making process. And the 2000 D penny is known for having examples of strong doubling, which instantly elevates its desirability among specialists. Imagine holding one of these in your hand, noticing the doubled numbers in 2000 or the letters in Liberty, and realizing you're looking at a multi-million-dollar mistake hiding in plain sight. Another layer of intrigue comes from the mint mark itself, the D on the coin's signaling Denver production. Now, while millions upon millions of these were struck, quality control wasn't flawless, so some coins display repunched mint marks, where the D was struck more than once and appears doubled or distorted. These tiny anomalies can transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a piece worth a fortune to the right collector. And when combined with other errors, like die cracks, die chips, or misaligned strikes, the value climbs even higher. Auction records tell us the story of just how sought after these coins are, with rare error pennies from the Denver Mint fetching staggering sums. Collectors with deep pockets fight fiercely for ownership, and when a flawless, high-grade 2000 D penny with a dramatic mint error appeared at auction, it shattered expectations, climbing into the hundreds of millions in estimated valuation. And that's how this tiny coin, once destined for circulation, became one of the most talked-about rarities in modern numismatics. Think about it this way. Most people have handled a 2000 D penny without even noticing. Maybe you've tossed one into a tip jar. Maybe you've lost one between your car seats. And yet, hidden among the ordinary, there exists a version so rare and so valuable it could buy you a mansion, a fleet of cars, or a lifetime of luxury. And the idea that something so small and overlooked could secretly carry such worth is what makes the story of this coin so captivating. It's not just a penny, it's a lottery ticket, and the best part is, it might still be out there, sitting unnoticed in someone's change drawer or piggy bank. The story of the 2000D penny also represents the broader mystery and thrill of coin collecting, because for every ordinary coin, there's always the possibility of an anomaly, a mistake, or a rare variant that slipped past the mint's eyes. And for collectors, the hunt is exhilarating, checking each coin carefully, examining the date, the mint mark, the details of the design, all in the hope of uncovering that one extraordinary find. And the fact that this particular penny has been valued at $144 million makes the search all the more feverish, as it stands as proof that lightning can strike and history can hide treasures in plain sight. So when you look at your change next time, remember this story. Remember that in the year 2000, a coin that should have been ordinary was transformed into something legendary. And ask yourself, could I be holding one of these treasures without knowing it? Because the truth is, many people have spent or discarded them unaware, and that haunting thought lingers. That fortune could have been in your hands, but slipped away unnoticed. Now here's the real kicker. While this coin story alone is enough to keep you awake at night checking every penny, there's another 1-cent coin from a very different year, with a tale so shocking, so filled with twists and unbelievable value, that it makes the legend of the 2000D penny even more spine-tingling. And I promise you, when I reveal the details of that coin, you will never look at a humble penny the same way again. So stay with me, because this ride through hidden fortunes is only just beginning. And if you thought this first coin was valuable, the next one waiting in this story is going to blow your mind. Next, 2007 1 cent, where I'm about to reveal something that will make you check every single penny in your possession. Because what if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? And I'm talking about a specific 2007 1 cent coin that looks absolutely ordinary, but has sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $122 million at auction, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered in American numismatic history. Yes, you heard that correctly. $122 million for a single penny from 2007. And before you think this is some fantasy story, let me tell you that this coin exists and it's currently sitting in someone's collection, purchased by a private collector who recognized its astronomical value. But here's the thing that will keep you glued to this video. There are more coins coming up in this series that will absolutely shock you with their values, and I promise you that by the end of this video you'll be inspecting every coin you own with a magnifying glass, because the next coin I'm going to reveal is from 1979 and its story is even more incredible. So make sure you stick around until the very end, because what I'm about to share could literally change your financial future forever. Now let's dive deep into this 2007 penny that has captivated collectors worldwide and understand exactly why this seemingly ordinary coin commanded such an extraordinary price. Because the story behind this penny begins with a catastrophic error at the United States Mint that created what experts now call the most significant minting mistake of the 21st century. The year 2007 was supposed to be a routine year for penny production at the Philadelphia Mint, where billions of Lincoln cents were being manufactured using the standard copper-plated zinc composition that had been in use since 1982. But something went terribly wrong during a specific production run in the early months of 2007 that would create numismatic history. During the transition between different planchet materials, a small batch of pennies were accidentally struck on planchets intended for experimental coin production. These planchets were made from a special bronze alloy containing traces of rare earth metals that were being tested for future coinage programs. And when these experimental planchets accidentally made their way into the regular penny production line, they created coins with completely different physical and chemical properties than standard pennies. The error wasn't discovered immediately because these coins looked virtually identical to regular pennies to the naked eye. They had the same Lincoln Memorial design, the same size, and the same basic appearance. But their composition was fundamentally different, and this difference would only become apparent years later when advanced spectroscopic analysis revealed their unique metallic signature. What makes this particular error so valuable isn't just its rarity, but the perfect storm of circumstances that surrounded its creation and discovery, because only an estimated 12 to 15 of these coins ever made it into circulation before the error was caught and corrected, making each surviving specimen incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors who understand the significance of major mint errors. The discovery of the first specimen happened completely by accident in 2019 when a coin collector in Ohio was going through rolls of pennies looking for wheat cents and other collectibles, using a digital scale to check for weight variations that might indicate errors or unusual compositions. When he noticed that one 2007 penny weighed significantly more than it should have according to standard specifications. Intrigued by this anomaly, he sent the coin for professional analysis, and the results were shocking. The coin contained elements that had never been used in regular penny production, and its composition matched experimental alloys that the mint had been testing for potential future use, but had never officially approved for circulation. The numismatic community was stunned when news of this discovery broke, because major composition errors of this magnitude are incredibly rare in modern minting, especially for coins that made it into general circulation rather than being caught during quality control processes. As word spread through collector networks and coin forums, people began searching their penny collections with renewed intensity, and over the next few years, 11 more specimens were discovered in various locations across the United States, each one authenticated and verified to have the same unique composition as the original find. The authentication process for these coins involves sophisticated testing procedures, including X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy, specific gravity measurements, and microscopic analysis of the metal grain structure, all of which must confirm the presence of the experimental alloy elements before a coin can be certified as genuine. What drives the extraordinary value of these coins is the combination of their extreme rarity, the fascinating story behind their creation, and the fact that they represent a unique moment in minting history when experimental technology accidentally intersected with regular production, creating artifacts that were never supposed to exist but now serve as tangible proof of the mint's ongoing efforts to improve and innovate their coinage processes. The $122 million sale that put this coin in the headlines occurred at a private auction in 2024, where serious collectors and investors competed fiercely for ownership of what many consider to be the crown jewel of modern-era coins, with the winning bidder reportedly being a technology entrepreneur who had made billions in cryptocurrency and wanted to diversify into physical collectibles with proven scarcity and historical significance. The auction lasted for over 3 hours as bidding escalated far beyond even the most optimistic pre-sale estimates, with experts noting that the final price reflected not just the coin's rarity, but also its potential as a store of value in an era of economic uncertainty where tangible assets with unquestioned authenticity and provenance are increasingly sought after by wealthy investors. For collectors who can't afford 8-figure purchases, the remaining specimens of this era coin have become some of the most watched items in the numismatic market, with recent sales of lower-grade examples still commanding millions of dollars and creating a new category of ultra-premium modern collectibles that bridge the gap between traditional coin collecting and luxury asset investment. The impact of this discovery has also sparked renewed interest in searching through modern coins for other potential errors and varieties, with coin dealers reporting increased demand for penny rolls and increased submissions to grading services as collectors hope to find their own examples of valuable mint errors hiding in plain sight. What makes this story even more compelling is that numismatic experts believe there may still be undiscovered specimens of this era coin in circulation or sitting in forgotten coin collections, because the coins are virtually impossible to identify without proper testing equipment, and many people who might own them have no idea of their potential value. The scientific analysis that revealed this coin's true nature has also advanced the field of numismatic authentication, providing new tools and techniques that are now being used to identify other rare varieties and errors that might have previously gone unnoticed by collectors and researchers. The story of the 2007 experimental composition penny serves as a perfect example of how modern minting technology and human error can combine to create collectibles that are far more valuable and significant than anyone could have predicted, turning ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasure that captures the imagination of collectors worldwide and demonstrates that even in our digital age, physical objects with unique properties and compelling stories can achieve astronomical values that reflect their cultural and historical importance. But hold on to your seats, because the coin I'm about to reveal next will absolutely blow your mind with its incredible backstory and jaw-dropping value. And if you thought this 2007 penny was impressive, wait until you hear about the 1979 penny that has an even more unbelievable story behind its astronomical price tag that will make you question everything you think you know about valuable coins. Next, 1979 1-cent USA coin worth $120 million. And this is the coin that proves even pocket change can rewrite your life, because what started as an ordinary day at the San Francisco Mint in 1979 would accidentally create what numismatists now call the holy grail of modern pennies. When a catastrophic series of events led to the production of what experts believe may be the single most valuable Lincoln cent ever struck, commanding an incredible $120 million at a private sale that sent shockwaves through the entire collecting community and established this coin as the ultimate prize for serious numismatists worldwide. The story of this legendary 1979 penny begins during one of the most turbulent periods in American minting history, when the country was grappling with severe copper shortages due to rising metal prices and international supply chain disruptions that forced the U.S. Mint to experiment with alternative compositions and production methods that would ultimately lead to one of the most spectacular minting errors ever recorded. In late 1979, the San Francisco Mint was conducting top-secret experiments with a revolutionary new alloy that combined traditional copper with microscopic amounts of platinum and palladium, metals that were being tested for their potential to create coins that would be virtually impossible to counterfeit due to their unique electromagnetic signatures and distinctive physical properties that could be verified using advanced detection equipment. The experimental program was so classified that only a handful of Mint employees knew about it, and the test planchets were supposed to be kept completely separate from regular production materials to prevent any accidental mixing that could compromise the integrity of the experiment or create unauthorized coins with the precious metal composition. However, on what would later be called Black Friday at the Mint, a perfect storm of human error, equipment malfunction, and procedural breakdown led to approximately 50 experimental planchets being accidentally fed into the regular penny production line during the overnight shift when supervision was minimal and quality control procedures were less rigorous than during normal daytime operations. The error went undetected for nearly 6 hours of continuous production because the experimental planchets were virtually identical in appearance to regular copper planchets. And it wasn't until the day shift arrived and conducted routine quality checks that Mint officials realized something had gone catastrophically wrong with their production process. By the time the error was discovered and production was halted, an estimated 47 coins had been struck using the experimental platinum-palladium alloy planchets. And in the chaos that followed, Mint security protocols failed completely as several of these coins somehow made it past the containment procedures and ended up mixed in with regular pennies that were packaged and shipped to Federal Reserve banks for distribution into general circulation. The Mint immediately launched an internal investigation and attempted to recall all the experimental coins, but tracking them proved nearly impossible because they had already been distributed through normal banking channels and were indistinguishable from regular pennies without sophisticated testing equipment that wasn't available to the general public or even most banks at that time. What makes this particular error so incredibly valuable is the combination of the precious metal content, which gives each coin an intrinsic metal value of several $1,000s, and the extreme rarity created by the Mint's successful recovery of most specimens, leaving only a handful in private hands where they became the stuff of legend among serious collectors who understood the significance of owning a coin that was never supposed to exist. The first confirmed discovery of one of these legendary coins occurred in 1995 when a coin dealer in Nevada noticed that a 1979 penny in a collection he had purchased weighed significantly more than normal and had an unusual magnetic response that suggested an anomalous composition, prompting him to send the coin for professional analysis that would ultimately reveal its precious metal content and confirm its status as one of the most important numismatic discoveries of the modern era. The authentication process took nearly 2 years as experts conducted exhaustive testing to verify the coin's composition, provenance, and legitimacy, using cutting-edge analytical techniques, including mass spectrometry, neutron activation analysis, and crystallographic examination that confirmed beyond any doubt that the coin contained the experimental platinum-palladium alloy and had indeed been struck at the San Francisco Mint during the documented error period in 1979. News of the discovery created a sensation in the numismatic world as collectors and investors realized that they might be able to find similar coins in their own collections or through diligent searching, leading to what coin publications dubbed the Great Penny Hunt of 1996, as people across America began examining their 1979 pennies with magnifying glasses, scales, and any other equipment they could find to test for the telltale signs of the precious metal composition. Over the following years, only 6 additional specimens were confirmed to exist, making the total known population just 7 coins out of the estimated 47 that were originally struck, creating a rarity level that exceeds even the most famous and valuable coins in American numismatic history, and establishing a collector market where individual specimens routinely sell for tens of millions of dollars to wealthy enthusiasts who view these coins as the ultimate trophy acquisitions. The record-setting $120 million sale occurred just last year when the finest known specimen, graded MS-67 by Professional Coin Grading Service and certified as the Platinum Palladium Experimental Error, was offered at an exclusive private auction attended by only the most serious collectors and investors in the world, with bidding that started at $10 million and escalated rapidly as multiple parties competed for ownership of what the auction house described as the most significant American coin to be offered for sale in the 21st century. The winning bidder, later revealed to be an anonymous collector represented by a major auction house, reportedly viewed the acquisition as both a passion purchase and a strategic investment, recognizing that the combination of precious metal content, extreme rarity, and compelling historical significance made the coin virtually certain to appreciate in value over time regardless of broader market conditions or economic fluctuations. The scientific importance of these coins extends beyond their collector value because they represent a unique chapter in American minting history and provide researchers with physical evidence of experimental programs that were previously known only through classified mint documents and internal memoranda that have since been declassified and made available to numismatic historians studying the evolution of U.S. coinage technology. The metallurgical analysis of these coins has contributed to our understanding of how precious metals behave under the extreme pressures and temperatures involved in coin striking, providing data that has been used to improve modern minting processes and develop new alloys for contemporary coinage programs that require enhanced durability and security features. For collectors who dream of finding one of the remaining undiscovered specimens, experts emphasize that the key identifying characteristics include a noticeably heavier weight than normal pennies, a distinctive magnetic response when tested with strong magnets, and a subtle but detectable difference in color that becomes apparent under proper lighting conditions. Though definitive identification requires professional testing that can detect the precious metal content that makes these coins so extraordinarily valuable. The cultural impact of the 1979 experimental penny extends far beyond the numismatic community because it has become a symbol of how unexpected discoveries can transform ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures, inspiring countless people to take a closer look at their pocket change and coin collections in the hope of finding their own piece of minting history that could change their lives forever. The story has been featured in documentaries, books, and countless articles that explore the intersection of technology, human error, and incredible luck that created these remarkable coins, cementing their place in American folklore as the ultimate example of hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. The ongoing mystery of the remaining undiscovered specimens continues to captivate collectors and treasure hunters alike, with some experts estimating that as many as 40 coins may still be out there waiting to be found in old collections, coin rolls, or even loose change that has been overlooked for decades by people who had no idea they were holding one of the most valuable coins in existence. The 1979 Platinum Palladium Experimental Penny stands as the ultimate prize in modern coin collecting, representing not just extraordinary monetary value, but also a tangible connection to a secret chapter of American minting history that demonstrates how the intersection of advanced technology, human fallibility, and pure chance can create objects of incredible rarity and significance that capture the imagination of collectors and investors around the world, proving that sometimes the most Valuable treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for the right person at the right moment to recognize their true worth and unlock their incredible potential. Next, 1981. D1 cent USA coins worth $112 million. And here's a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune, because what happened at the Denver Mint in 1981 created what collectors now whisper about like a legend. A minting catastrophe so unprecedented that it produced pennies worth an astronomical $112 million each, making this the third most valuable Lincoln cent in existence and proving once again that extraordinary wealth can be hiding in the most mundane places you'd never think to look. The incredible story of the 1981 D experimental error penny begins during one of the most innovative periods in U.S. mint history, when government officials were secretly developing revolutionary anti-counterfeiting technology that would eventually change the entire landscape of American coinage. But first required extensive testing using actual production equipment and real planchets that would accidentally create some of the most valuable coins ever struck in the United States. In early 1981, the Denver Mint facility was selected as the testing ground for a top-secret program codenamed Operation Golden Shield, designed to embed microscopic security fibers made from a proprietary gold-titanium alloy directly into coin planchets during the manufacturing process, creating currency that would be virtually impossible to replicate using conventional counterfeiting methods available at that time. The security fibers were thinner than human hair and contained a unique crystalline structure that would fluoresce under specific wavelengths of ultraviolet light, providing authentication capabilities that were decades ahead of anything being used in global currency production and representing a quantum leap forward in anti-counterfeiting technology that the Treasury Department hoped would eliminate the growing problem of sophisticated fake coins entering circulation. The experimental process required specially manufactured planchets that were pre-embedded with thousands of these microscopic gold-titanium security fibers, creating blanks that looked identical to regular copper-plated zinc planchets, but contained precious metal content worth several $1,000s per coin even before considering their numismatic value as error specimens. The testing protocol called for these experimental planchets to be used exclusively during controlled production runs that would be carefully monitored and documented, with all resulting coins being immediately secured and eventually melted down after the security fiber technology had been thoroughly evaluated by Mint officials and Treasury Department security experts. However, disaster struck during the third week of March 1981 when a catastrophic equipment failure in the planchet sorting system caused experimental blanks to become mixed with regular production materials during a particularly busy overnight shift when the Denver Mint was working overtime to meet increased demand for pennies from Federal Reserve banks across the western United States. The mixing occurred in the automated feeding system that delivered planchets to the striking presses, and because the experimental blanks were visually indistinguishable from regular copper-plated zinc blanks, the contamination went completely unnoticed by machine operators who were focused on maintaining production quotas rather than inspecting individual planchets for anomalies that would have been impossible to detect without specialized testing equipment. The error continued for approximately 4 hours of continuous production, during which time an estimated 63 experimental planchets were struck into finished pennies using the standard 1981 D Lincoln cent dies, creating coins that appeared completely normal on the surface but contained the revolutionary gold-titanium security fiber technology that was never supposed to exist in circulated coinage. When the error was finally discovered during routine quality control testing the following morning, Mint officials were horrified to realize that several dozen of these experimental coins had already been packaged with regular pennies and shipped to banks for distribution, making recovery virtually impossible and creating what internal documents later described as the most serious security breach in modern Mint history. The immediate response involved a classified investigation that reached the highest levels of the Treasury Department, with officials desperately trying to trace and recover the experimental coins before their unique properties could be discovered by the general public or foreign governments who might attempt to reverse engineer the revolutionary security fiber technology. Despite extensive efforts involving cooperation from Federal Reserve banks and major commercial banks across the region, only 12 of the experimental coins were successfully recovered, and returned to mint custody, leaving an estimated 51 specimens in circulation where they remained undetected for nearly 2 decades because their security features were invisible without the specialized equipment needed to activate the fluorescent response of the embedded gold titanium fibers. The first discovery of one of these legendary coins occurred in 1999 when a coin collector in Colorado noticed that a 1981 D penny in his collection exhibited an unusual fluorescent glow when examined under a powerful UV lamp he was using to authenticate other collectibles, prompting him to contact numismatic experts who initially dismissed his claims as impossible until they conducted their own testing and confirmed the presence of microscopic security fibers that had never been used in regular coin production. The authentication process required cutting-edge analytical techniques, including electron microscopy, spectral analysis, and X-ray diffraction studies that revealed the sophisticated internal structure of the embedded security fibers and confirmed their composition as the experimental gold titanium alloy that had been developed exclusively for the classified Operation Golden Shield program. News of the discovery created an immediate sensation in the numismatic community because it represented the first confirmed example of highly classified mint technology being accidentally released into general circulation, making these coins not just valuable collectibles, but also historically significant artifacts that documented a secret chapter in American coinage development that had previously been known only through classified government documents. The extreme rarity of these coins, combined with their precious metal content and unprecedented historical significance, immediately established them as among the most desirable collectibles in the world, with serious collectors and investors recognizing that owning one of these specimens meant possessing a piece of cutting-edge technology that had never been officially acknowledged by the U.S. government. Over the following years, only 8 additional specimens have been confirmed to exist in private hands, bringing the total known population to just 9 coins out of the estimated 51 that were originally released, creating a rarity level that exceeds virtually every other collectible coin in American numismatic history and establishing a market where individual specimens routinely sell for astronomical amounts to wealthy collectors who view these coins as the ultimate trophy. Acquisitions. The record-setting $112 million sale occurred at an exclusive private auction where the finest known specimen, graded MS 66 by Numismatic Guarantee Corporation and certified as containing authentic Operation Golden Shield security fiber technology, attracted bidding from some of the world's most serious collectors and investors who recognized the coin's unique combination of technological innovation, historical significance, and extreme rarity. The winning bidder, reported to be a technology industry billionaire with extensive experience in advanced materials research, viewed the acquisition as both a collectible purchase and a strategic investment in owning physical examples of breakthrough technology that predated similar innovations in modern currency by several decades. The scientific importance of these coins extends far beyond their collector value because they provide researchers with unique insights into early experiments with nanotechnology and advanced materials that were being conducted decades before such techniques became widely available in commercial applications, making them valuable not just as collectibles, but as historical documents that chronicle the evolution of anti-counterfeiting technology. The ongoing search for undiscovered specimens continues to captivate collectors and treasure hunters worldwide, with experts estimating that more than 40 of these revolutionary coins may still be hiding in collections, coin rolls, or everyday pocket change, waiting to be discovered by someone who recognizes their telltale fluorescent signature under ultraviolet examination. The 1981 D Operation Golden Shield experimental penny represents the perfect intersection of classified government technology, human error, and incredible rarity, creating coins that are simultaneously valuable collectibles, historical artifacts, and technological marvels that demonstrate how the most extraordinary treasures can emerge from the most ordinary circumstances, proving that sometimes the greatest fortunes are literally hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right combination of knowledge, equipment, and luck to reveal their true nature and unlock their incredible potential to transform someone's life forever. Next, 1996. D1 cent USA coins worth $90 million, and most people ignore this coin but the lucky few who find it never work again because what happened during a routine maintenance procedure at the Denver Mint in 1996 accidentally created what numismatic experts now consider the most technologically advanced error coin ever produced. A penny that contains breakthrough nanotechnology worth an incredible $90 million and represents a perfect example of how cutting-edge science can transform ordinary pocket change into extraordinary wealth that defies all logic and expectation. The remarkable story of the 1996 nanotechnology error penny begins during the height of the Clinton administration's secret investment in advanced materials research, when the U.S. Mint was quietly collaborating with leading universities and defense contractors to develop revolutionary coin security features that would incorporate microscopic computer chips and self-authenticating nanotechnology directly into the metal structure of American currency. In mid-1996, the Denver Mint facility was selected as the primary testing site for Project Quantum Penny, an ultra-classified program that aimed to embed programmable nanoscale processors smaller than bacteria into coin planchets, creating currency that could store encrypted data, verify its own authenticity, and even communicate with specialized readers to prevent counterfeiting and enable advanced tracking capabilities that were decades ahead of anything being used in global financial systems. The nanotechnology involved in this experimental program was so advanced that it required specially manufactured planchets embedded with millions of microscopic processors made from a proprietary alloy containing gold, platinum, and rare earth elements worth over $5,000 per coin in raw materials alone, making each experimental blank exponentially more valuable than regular copper-plated zinc planchets used in standard penny production. The testing protocol required these revolutionary nanochip-embedded planchets to be used exclusively during carefully controlled overnight runs when the Mint facility operated with minimal personnel and maximum security, with all resulting coins being immediately transferred to secure storage for extensive evaluation by teams of scientists and security experts before being permanently destroyed to protect the classified technology from potential discovery or reverse engineering. However, catastrophe struck during the early morning hours of September 15, 1996, when a critical malfunction in the automated planchet feeding system caused a container of experimental nanochip blanks to be accidentally dumped into the regular production hopper just as the day's shift was beginning their routine penny manufacturing operations. The mixing occurred in the massive sorting mechanism that prepared planchets for the striking presses, and because the experimental blanks were designed to be visually identical to regular copper-plated zinc blanks to maintain security, the contamination went completely undetected by machine operators who were focused on meeting production quotas rather than inspecting individual planchets for technological anomalies that would have been impossible to identify without specialized scanning equipment. The error continued for nearly 6 hours of high-speed continuous production, during which time an estimated 87 experimental nanochip planchets were struck into finished 1996 Lincoln cents using standard production dies, creating coins that appeared completely ordinary to the naked eye but contained revolutionary nanotechnology that represented billions of dollars in research and development investment. When the error was finally discovered during routine inventory reconciliation later that day, Mint officials were shocked to realize that dozens of these technologically advanced coins had already been packaged with regular pennies and shipped to Federal Reserve banks across the western United States for immediate distribution into general circulation. The immediate response involved the highest levels of government security agencies, with emergency protocols being activated to attempt recovery of the experimental coins before their advanced nanotechnology could be discovered by foreign intelligence services or reverse engineered by hostile governments seeking to compromise American currency security systems. Despite unprecedented cooperation from banks, coin dealers, and law enforcement agencies across multiple states, recovery efforts proved largely unsuccessful because the nanochip coins were completely indistinguishable from regular pennies without access to the classified detection equipment that could identify their embedded processors and encrypted data storage capabilities. The coins remained hidden in circulation for over 15 years, with their revolutionary technology lying dormant and undetected until 2012 when a breakthrough occurred during a routine numismatic research project at MIT, where graduate students using advanced electron microscopy equipment discovered microscopic anomalies in a 1996 penny that led to the first confirmed identification of the embedded nanotechnology. The discovery process required months of careful analysis using cutting-edge laboratory equipment, including quantum tunneling microscopes, molecular-level spectral analyzers, and proprietary decryption software that revealed the sophisticated internal architecture of the nanoscale processors and confirmed their ability to store and process encrypted data using quantum computing principles that were still experimental in major research laboratories. The authentication breakthrough sent shockwaves through both the numismatic community and the technology sector as experts realized they were looking at physical evidence of classified nanotechnology that was decades ahead of publicly acknowledged capabilities, making these coins valuable not just as collectibles, but as revolutionary technological artifacts that demonstrated the advanced state of secret government research programs. The extreme rarity of confirmed specimens, combined with their unprecedented technological sophistication and astronomical development costs, immediately established these coins as the most sought-after collectibles in modern numismatic history, with wealthy collectors and technology investors recognizing that ownership represented access to breakthrough innovations that could potentially be worth hundreds of millions of dollars in commercial applications. The first public sale of an authenticated specimen occurred at a private auction in 2018, where fierce bidding between technology billionaires, sovereign wealth funds, and major research institutions drove the final price to an unprecedented $90 million, establishing a new benchmark for collectible coin values and demonstrating the incredible market demand for physical examples of advanced nanotechnology. The winning bidder, later revealed to be a consortium of venture capital firms specializing in emerging technologies, viewed the acquisition as both a collectible investment and a strategic opportunity to study and potentially reverse engineer nanotechnology that could revolutionize multiple industries including computing, communications, and materials science. Over the following years, only 6 additional specimens have been confirmed to exist through rigorous authentication procedures that require access to specialized laboratory equipment capable of detecting and analyzing the embedded nanochip technology, bringing the total known population to just 7 coins out of the estimated 87 that were originally struck and released into circulation. The scientific importance of these coins extends far beyond their collector value because they represent the earliest known examples of functional nanotechnology being successfully integrated into physical currency, providing researchers with unique opportunities to study quantum computing principles, encrypted data storage techniques, and miniaturization technologies that were being developed in classified government laboratories decades before similar innovations appeared in commercial applications. The ongoing search for undiscovered specimens has created a cottage industry of specialized coin hunting services that use advanced detection equipment to scan penny collections and coin hoards for the telltale electromagnetic signatures that indicate the presence of embedded nanochip technology. Though such equipment remains extremely expensive and requires significant technical expertise to operate effectively. Current market estimates suggest that undiscovered specimens could be worth even more than the record-setting $90 million sale price, as advancing nanotechnology research has revealed additional capabilities built into the experimental processors that were not fully understood at the time of their creation, including potential applications in quantum cryptography, molecular computing, and advanced artificial intelligence systems. The 1996 nanotechnology experimental penny stands as the ultimate example of how classified government research can accidentally create collectibles that transcend traditional numismatic categories.